Hello, so today I'm going to teach you guys how to do really realistic clouds with gel. I haven't really seen anyone else use this method, so I thought I would share it with you guys today. So I'm just going to assume that you guys know what you're doing. These are the tips that I'm using. They are just clear stiletto tips, which I love because when you cut them, they're automatically coffin shaped. And I went ahead and blended these into my actual nail. And I personally like to add a thin layer of like translucent pink acrylic powder to protect my natural nail because I am never patient enough to soak them off. I always file them off, and by keeping like a layer of that, pink clear color, it protects my natural nail. Although sometimes I even still take it too far, not gonna lie. And try to pay attention to how small the bead I'm using is. You don't want to take it too far or make it too thick, because once you place your colored acrylic on top, if you file down to shape it, then you might take some color off. So just be sure you make it as thin as you possibly can. So I did two French just as an accent, and the blue that I placed down, I kind of marbled a little bit. I tried to make it really subtle because I didn't want it to end up looking like water. I still wanted it to look like the sky, so I used a really light blue and like a medium toned blue. And these are the colors that I'm going to be using. I believe they're all by the brand Beetle, and they're all from different like bundles that I got on Amazon. So I'm just making sure I show you guys the number, but you could use whatever brand you want. It really doesn't matter. So I ended up mixing those two blue colors because I'm trying to make the perfect shadow color for the blue powder that I placed down. Here I'm just grabbing a little bit more product. So I'm placing the colors from darkest to lightest because gel polish never is really opaque, or rarely is ever opaque on the first layer. So by placing the darker color first, as I build these layers up, they're gonna show, and it's going to be really subtle and smooth and seamless, whereas if you do it the other way around, you might get more harsh lines and it might be a little bit more difficult to blend and make look like actual clouds. And it does help that the brush I'm using is really crusty, dusty. It has lost its shape, as it's helping me with the more like sporadic texture that clouds naturally have. And I went ahead and cured for I think 30 to a minute, and just to lock that design in place so I don't blend the two colors together as I layer them. And I'm making sure to clean my brush really well with acetone in between the colors as we are, switching from a cool tone to a warm tone. You don't want that to blend in and become muddy. So again, using this dusty crusty brush, and I'm placing this peach color kind of in the middle of where I've placed the darker shade, but I'm making sure that some of the darker shade does kind of still show on like the edges. Again, curing from 30 seconds to a minute. You really don't need much. It's not a lot of gel. You can do more than one layer of one color as well if you would like. I did that with the white. But yeah, here I am again using that misshapen brush, and I'm still staying kind of in the center of the colors that I've placed so those other colors peek through. And with the white, it's a little bit more complicated. So you can either blend it while it's uncured or lock that in place by curing it and adding more layers. It's gonna be up to you and the look that you're going for. So I'm just gonna shut up and let you watch what I'm doing. So you notice at first I tried to blend out the edges with acetone. It didn't work as well as I'd liked, so I switched my brush and I switched to using monomer, but use whatever makes you feel more comfortable. So I did end up curing this layer, and so I'm going in with a different brush. They were both Kolinsky brushes. The first one was the one that I laid down my acrylic with. This one's one that I usually use for like 3D flowers and stuff. And I'm using the tip of the brush to really highlight those areas that the sun is hitting the clouds. This is essentially what's gonna make them look fluffy. So this thumb was not looking how I wanted it to, so I think this is a really good learning moment, and you could just like watch what I do to make it look like what I wanted it to, because damn, she was just making me struggle. So adding that peachy color definitely saved this cloud, and I went ahead and pulled out my little angel cherub stickers. Well, actually nail decals, water decals. So I had to figure out how to use that real quick. And this is the final product. I really love how it turned out. If anything, I wish I would have added like more 3D elements, like maybe some stones or something, but honestly the simplicity of them is just really classy and they're really elegant, and I thought it was different than, you know, hearts and red and pink Valentine's nails. So yes, hopefully you guys learned something from this video. Please tag me on Instagram if you try my method, or comment down below if you try it. Just let me know, you know, your little success stories. It's a little bit intimidating. You gotta trust the process a little bit. So yeah, that's it, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.